1, 2, 3, 4. Early in the morning, rise into the stream. Light me up that cigarette and I'll strap shoes on my feet. Got to find the reason things went wrong. Got to find a reason why my money's all gone. I got a Dalmatian and I can still get high, and I can play the guitar like a mother-in ride. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons. Today I'm sharing with you a very beginner-friendly tune with only 2 chords. This is Sublime's What I Got. We're going to go through the basic changes and then also a very beginner-friendly guitar solo. Let's get started. Okay, a close look at the guitar. We're getting started learning how to play these verses, and all we need is just 2 chords, the power of simplicity. We have a D major chord and a G major. For the beginners out there, that D major chord, I put my first finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, creates an A note. And my middle finger is on the 2nd fret of the high E string, creates an F sharp. Together, they are what I call the peace sign position. I tell that to all my beginner students. Next, we're going to take our 3rd finger and put it right in between on the 3rd fret of the B string. So to the beginners out there, we're thinking peace sign to the triangle, D major. Next, I'm going to go to a G major. For the majority of this tune, all we will need is just the middle finger on the 3rd fret of the E string. So then we have this very simple version of G major. But the full chord will be middle finger, 3rd fret of the E string. My first finger is 2nd fret of the A string. And my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, left over from the D chord. And my pinky on the 3rd fret of the high E string for a full G major chord. So we have D major and G major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just back and forth between those 2 chords, up tempo, 1 measure each. Early in the morning, rise into the street. Light me up that cigarette and I'll strap shoes on my feet. Just like that. Okay, with our basic chords down, we're ready to move into the picking aspect of this tune. This is something that I think you'll be able to get by ear. Let's give it a shot. I'm going to start off by demonstrating nice and slow. It's going to sound like this. Okay, this is something that Brad is going to vary throughout the entire tune. He doesn't play it the same way every time, but generally speaking, it's something along the lines of D string with the D major chord, D string, G string, B string, and then back to the G string in a very syncopated rhythm. It sounds like this. D, G, B, G. Let's hear that again. D, G, B, G. After that, we're going to go to the G major chord, but I don't need to play the entire thing unless I'm planning on expanding upon this idea. I just need to take my middle finger and put it up on the low E string, 3rd fret. And I'm going to play E string first, G string, B string, and then back to the G string. So this is the same picking pattern, only the root change to accommodate the G major. So over the D chord, D, G, B, G. Middle finger goes up, E, G, B, G. Now your task is to get that in rhythm. Some people mix in a little bit of strumming. Like that. G strum, B, G. D strum, B, G. It's a great way to play it. You gotta consider, you're playing this usually on your own as a solo guitarist, so you wanna be able to liven it up with some extra technique. You see some people even just strum the whole thing, especially when they start getting into the meat of the song and they want to bring up the energy, just a down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. With your pop strumming pattern, you can check out my rhythm videos to acquaint yourself with that. Great also to try to emphasize the low bass notes. Bass and treble separation was another thing that we talked about on my last rhythm video. So maybe hitting the D string first, root, down, up, down, up. And then doing that on the G chord, root, down, up, down, up. This time playing my entire G chord. Root, down, up, down, up, root, down, up, down, up, root, down, up, slowing it down. How the root and treble separation really brings out the funkiness of the song. Makes it very swinging, very danceable. And you can mix and match these different techniques. Okay, just 2 easy chords and a fun little picking pattern, and this song is already performance ready. But if you want to turn it into a real showstopper, I would suggest you learn Bradley's iconic guitar solo. This is actually one of the very first guitar solos that I had ever learned. It's going to sound like this. Okay, to get started with that, I'm going to show you the scales that these licks are being built from. The first one is your A-rooted D blues scale. So blues scale in the key of D, but starting here on the A string 5th fret. It's going to sound like this. Okay, so that was the A string 5th fret to the 8th fret. On the D string we have 5, 6, 7. Then on the G string, 5, 7. On the B string, we're going to play 6, 8, 9, adjusting for the B string there, which is tuned differently, right? Then on the high E string, we have the 5th fret to the 8th fret, and then to finish it up, we can just slide up to the 10th fret of the high E string, which is a D note, or octave there. Now we're not going to be using all of that, but a lot of the most recognizable notes are grabbed right out of that scale. We're also going to be using notes from the D major scale here on the E string, 10th fret. Sounds like this. Okay, so that is middle finger, 10th fret to the 12th fret, to the 9th fret of the A string, to the 10th fret, 12th fret. Then we're going to have the 9th fret, 11th fret, 12th fret on the D string. Same thing on the G string, 9, 11, 12. The B string we're getting 10, 12, and then we have 9th fret and 10th fret to finish it up. So Brad's going to be mixing up some major notes right out of that scale. And also some minory kind of bluesy notes from the pentatonic scale, or the blues scale rooted off of this string, which would be 10, 13, 10, 11, 12. So the same thing we played here, but on the E string, 10th fret. Then we just have 10th fret, 12th fret on the D string, 10th fret, 12th fret, 13th fret on the G string, 10, 12, 13. Then on the B string we have 10, 13, and then we have 10, 13 on the high E string. So if you know those 3 positions, those 3 scales, you can start to see where Bradley was coming from when he was writing this solo. Okay, let's get into the first lick. Okay, lick number 1 is going to sound like this. Borrowing notes right out of that A-rooted blues scale in the key of D, we have the 7th fret of the D string, the 5th fret of the G, the 7th fret of the G, then our middle finger is going to grab the 6th fret of the B string and bend it up a little bit. And then as you lift up the string, you force it up, put the pick back on it so that way it dies as you raise the pitch. You can still kind of get the same effect if you don't bend it, but it's not nearly as cool. Okay, moving on from there. Okay, so far we had 7, 5, 7, 6 with the bend. We're gonna play. So that was the 7th fret of the G string to the 5th fret, and then a hammer on and a vibrato back to the 7th fret from that 5th fret. Just like that. Next, we're going to be finding our chord forms. D major to G major. It's kind of like going D, C, G, G. So, in that section, we're taking our 2 fingers here, middle finger and ring finger, putting them on the 7th fret of the G and B string. Now, I like to grab this with 2 fingers here, but you can just strum it with your pick, like that. Bring that down a whole step, 2 frets to the 5th fret, and then play 2 short staccato strums of the G string, 4th fret, and 3rd fret of the B string. Actually, that last one, we're gonna let that go long. So we have short, short, long, short, long. Let me say that one more time. Short, 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 long. And I'm making those staccato or short by playing, squeezing, and then just removing the pressure. Moving on, we have this last little segment, sounds like this. Okay, so we'll break that up into segments as well. Let's start with, okay, so that was a slide from the 11th fret of the G string up to the 12th fret. Just like that. Then we're gonna play the 10th fret of the B string to the 12th fret, to the 10th fret of the high E string, and then back to the 12th fret of the B string. Next we have this segment. 12, 10, 13, down the line, 12, 10. So far we have. Finally, we're gonna end it with just one last bend on the G string, 12th fret, and it kind of rings out. Just like that, as Bradley comes back in. Life is too short, so love the one you got. You might get run over or you might get shot. Just like that. Alright everyone, thanks so much for checking out this lesson on Sublime's What I Got. I hope you enjoyed it, hope you had a lot of fun. For the beginner guitar players out there in the Philadelphia area trying to build a solid foundation, I do have another intro to guitar class starting February 8th in Center City. PhillyGuitarClass.com for all the details, and you can save on your enrollment with our friendly promo code PhillyRocks. Until then, I got plenty more videos coming up, so keep checking back. Please subscribe, please share. I'm Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia saying happy picking.